All right, here we have carbon disulfide and carbon monoxide are prepared. Prepared. That means these guys are the products, not the reactants, by using carbon and sulfur dioxide. So carbon and sulfur dioxide are the reactants. So before we even read about the problem, we know we're probably going to have to come up with a balanced chemical reaction. If 3.4 moles of carbon react, how many grams of CS2 are produced? So let's figure out that reaction. Carbon disulfide would be on the right side. Carbon, 1, disulfide, sulfur, and there's 2 of them, and carbon monoxide. Mon means 1. So CS2 and CO are prepared or produced by using carbon and sulfur dioxide, SO2. Okay, so let's balance that equation out. So now I have 4 carbons, 2 sulfurs, 4 oxygens. Let's add that 1 in there to make it a full, grammatically correct or scientifically correct balanced equation. And then let's write our knowns down. 3.4 moles of carbon. So that goes right above where it says carbon. React. How many grams of CS2? How many grams of CS2? Always put the question mark and always put the unit. That way you know your pathway is going to be to moles of species A to grams of species B. So when I look over here on my mole island, I start with archipelago A, which is all about species A. And I have to get to mole island before I can switch to the other archipelago. They started me out with mole. All right, so hopefully I don't run out of battery again. We started with 3.4 moles of carbon, so we just rewrite that because that's our known. We put it over 1. We just have to jump right to the mole ratio because we already started with moles of species A. So I need to get from moles of carbon to moles of CS2. There are 4 moles of carbon and 1 mole of CS2. So if I stopped right here, I would be on moles of CS2, which means I used the mole ratio boat to get to archipelago B, and now I'm on moles here. Where do I ultimately have to go? To grams. So I have to go to gram island. I use molar mass to do that. And I use the molar mass of CS2. So there's 1 carbon at 12.01. There's 2 sulfurs at 32.06. .13 grams per mole. 76.1, oops, wrong spot. See, that's why you should always write it. I need moles of CS2 on the bottom to cancel. There's 1 mole of CS2 and 76.13 grams. So even though we have a mole ratio over here, you don't use that in the molar mass. The molar mass is still always so many grams per 1 mole. And now my moles cancel. And now I'm going to multiply across the top. So 3.4 times 1 times 76.13 divided by 1 divided by 4 divided by 1. I'm only going to use that once there because otherwise, if I had those ones in there, I would have had to use parentheses. I get 64.7105, 2 sig figs though, so I'm going to round my 64.7 to 65 grams CS2.